I thought he was.
Because you remember when Will Packer was contacting us about the Queen's Court?
And he only contacted her.
He skipped over me as if I didn't have anything to do with it.
Correct. Oh yeah.
I can have my Will Packer stories too.
Oh wow. Do you think he tips through the tulips?
I do. My cousin used to date him. Diamond.
Oh
really?
Mm-hmm. Oh, am I pouring tea? I'm sorry. So when Monique said head nigga in charge, it gave very much so. I understand because I've had my experiences in the place of the situation too. And look what he ended up doing with the Queen's Court. He went and gave it. And I love Holly Robinson Pete. I do. But they end up going and taking that name and creating it with Tamar and all this stuff. And they got the Queen's Court dating show. So he had been after that entity that was built for a long period of time.
Come on.
So we're not going to talk about the impact and the presence of the P.H.A.G in our community. So I was very happy at the point when Monique, can we play some of the thing? Let's play some of it, please.
So you just want to get right into
I'd like, let's go right into it since we P.H.A.G tour.
Yes.
All right.
We don't need to talk about Kaya no more. There's nobody talking about it anyway. So let's go up here to, was it 30? Is this one? Yeah, play 2 minutes.
Okay.
And 2 seconds. Thanks.
You know how, and I don't want to put you on a spot, but I'm going to say it because I appreciate you as a black man and what you're doing.
Thank you.
If you are my friend and someone says to me, Monique, Shannon Sharp wronged me, and you my friend, I'm going to call my friend.
You can come to me.
And I'm going to say, hey, is what they saying true? And if you get to hemming and hawing, I'm going to tell you, till you fix it, you and I can't talk. Because if you'll do them that way, it'll be a matter of time before you do it to me. So if Steve Harvey is your friend, you call your friend up and you ask him, is what our sister saying right, man? Because if it is, we can't do that to her. If that's our sister. See, it took a transgender named T.S. Madison. It was a guy named Jamaica Carter. Jamaica Carter and our mutual friend. Jamaica Carter and our friends. T.S. Madison was a mutual friend. So Jamaica called me and said, would you mind doing T.S. Madison's show? I go do T.S. Madison's show. When I tell T.S. Madison, when the camera cuts, I said, listen, your friend is wrong. She said, Monique Lee Daniels is my friend. I said, then you need to call your friend and tell him to fix this shit. She said, I will. Within a couple of days, who did I get a call from? Lee Daniels. See, that's a friend. That's a true friend that's saying, I love you so much that I want to make sure that's not on your heart or your conscience. Let's fix it. Let's make it right. So when people ask Lee now, when we did the deliverance together, how was it to work with Monique? It was as if we had never parted ways because he fixed it. He owned it and he took accountability for it. I can't now keep you to the cross because you've owned it.
Right.
I've had to be forgiven.
Right.
So I appreciate that someone had grace and mercy with me.
The reason why the screen is black, we don't want any copyright infringements.
Hello.
That video does belong to.
We don't want any copyright infringements. And if we do get some, we will mute that out.
Right. So just imagine what she said.
Y'all watch the interview so y'all know. Now, even with that being said, when she came forth and she said transgender, do you know that the trans community, some of the trans community, and I'm going to say this in love, Craig, because I understand. You ready? This is growth. Watch your sister do growth.
Okay.
Didn't you see me display growth just earlier?
Absolutely.
Watch your sister, because I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. So there's no reason for me to have any bitterness in my heart, any malicious conversation. None. I'm too blessed for that. So I'm going to continue that. I understand how we are very much so, we walk on eggshells in our community, and how the moment that we as trans people get an opportunity to be seen by people who we have been pleading our case to for the longest, that we're human, and they use terms that they are still learning and this and the other, and they say transgender. I saw a lot of the conversation where the trans community was saying that in those moments that her using the term transgender dehumanized trans people. She was not talking about trans people, Keisha. She was she was talking about me.
Right.
This was me and Monique's moment.
Right.
And this was also a moment for her to take the word transgender and throw it back into the faces of a man that identifies as hetero.
He identifies as what?
He does. Great. Don't do that.
What does he do?
A man that identifies. Hold on, Craig. No, don't take me out of the moment. No, Craig, do not take me out of the moment.
You've backed this Buick up in this spot.
Do not take me out of the moment. He identifies as a hetero.
Is he the same one that's running around with that young boy that was?
Doing this, Craig. We're not.
Is this?
No, we're not doing that. So just leave that there. These are your feelings.
Oh, okay.
This man,
communications is our partner. Clarity.
Just leave it there.
Communication is our partner. Clarity is our friend.
Do not take from this moment.
Okay, go ahead.
This man identifies. He identifies as a heterosexual man, and he's a part of the heterosexual community. And she sat there. No, Craig, don't do this. It's important that I say. And she sat there across from that man, in that man's face, and she actually took what they say about us, and she made them think. It took a transgender when my own community turned their back on me to stand in the gap for me. And she continued and followed up a transgender by the name of T.S. Madison. And after she said that, she continually addressed me by my pronouns, she and her. Let's be clear here. She continued to affirm me by my pronouns, she, her, and hers, and used my friend. So the outrage that the trans community got from that one statement and looked completely over her affirming right behind that, I need y'all to, in the words of Miss Sophia, calm down. I need for y'all to calm down. Calm down. Okay? Because when she was speaking, she was talking about me. Me. If you took it from the context of her speaking about the community, look at the entirety of the situation, how she returned back and affirmed me. Because she could have easily sat there in that conversation with that man and said he and him and it and that man could have said he and him, and she could have right on. They could have had a whole conversation in it.
Or she could have just simply said, a mutual friend of mine in Leeds connected us. She didn't even have to say T.S. Madison.
Right. She could have just, she could have omitted me, all of that.
Yep.
She could have completely omitted me and everything. I like the fact, Craig, Mo, can we tap Miss Mary on her shoulder up there? I like the fact of the matter that she pointed that out, because remember the whole debacle when everybody was like 50 Cent did this and the other and acted as if I had no part, or I had no hand, or I had no part or no nothing, how the blogs posted all that. Oh my God, thank you, 50 Cent. Like they didn't watch my motherfucking interview. How they politely skipped over me. How they did all the things. And that woman sat on that show while 186,000 people were watching live and stated what happened and how it transpired. So please, trans community, this was not your moment. This was not your moment. This was not your moment. I diligently do work in the community. Black, brown, trans, and LBGT community. I diligently do work. Diligently. And yet no one speaks of it because I'm trans. So therefore, when she says it took a transgender Gender, I was all right with it. Because I understood it. There are times for us to be advocates, and there are times for us to stand back and be like, bitch, yes. I'm not Laverne. I'm not Amaya. I'm not Hope. I'm not Angelica Ross. I'm not India Moore. I'm not any of those people. Bitch, I am T.S. motherfucking Madison, bitch, the loud, livest, and colors of them all. And I say that with conviction, bitch. AWF, the Duchess of all Russia. Of all. They may not get out there because they get in the pink their way, I get in the mud mine. And bitch, what y'all not gonna do is sit over there and act as if I am invisible or I'm or I'm just some minuscule piece of the puzzle. We're not doing that. So when the woman did that, I was all right with it. Now, the only thing that really made me tap a hoe on their shoulder was when this OnlyFans trans girl jumped up. And and here's the thing, I'm not reading her because she's an OnlyFans girl. I'm not. What I'm reading her is because, bitch, you're doing all my leftover shit. And you have the audacity,
the unmitigated
motherfucking gall to speak about scraps when you are doing all my leftover shit. Show the footage, please. That girl said, I'm realizing that every queer celebrity be straight up wanting us to be grateful for scraps. T.S. Madison, Flame Monroe, RuPaul, so on and so forth. Y'all be blowing me. Y'all don't even live regular lives. What the fuck do y'all be talking about? And I put grateful for scraps. Me, sweetheart, quiet as it's kept. You are doing all my leftover shit. And I'm still 10 toes down out here carving a path for you and yours when you decide that you want to change directions that you want to go in. Hashtag be blessed, beloved niece.
Beloved who?
Beloved niece. Now, she wrote an entire think piece after that I didn't pay any think piece that I didn't pay any attention. But then she wrote little small paragraphs talking about how I don't say anything because I'm not Amaya, you know. So I understand her representation. Amaya represents the beauty, the extreme, you know, unorthodox beauty of the community, and everybody wants to be pretty, trans, and this and the other. And I understand, and that's great. But what we are not going to do as trans people is minimalize my presence or impact in our community. We're not finna do that. When it's be time to be on the front line, bitch, I seen a motherfucking hoe right. Why does T.S. Madison be the only one? Because I ain't motherfucking scared, bitch. That's why. So I understand the reason why she was going to, because she didn't see, I'm not her version of representation. But ma'am, when you really look at the grand scheme of things, again, let me point back to you. You're in a lane that I carved for you. Let's be totally clear. You're in a lane that I carved for you. So you are doing all my leftover shit. And not only are you doing all my leftover shit, you would want to hope that you rise to be a fragment of what I was in that industry.
But Maddie, even though you're not her type of representation, I still don't think it's right though. Because just because somebody isn't your cup of tea doesn't mean the work that they're doing should be minimized or should be
that's why I'm not minimalizing her presence on OnlyFans. She may have she might be a wallpaper. She might be an icon on somebody's telephone as a screensaver for some man that wants to suck her cock or wants to fuck her in her cornhole or fly her around the United States or out of the country to fuck her. But she is not the icon living that is T.S. Madison. Let us be totally clear on that. And we appreciate her presence and her contributions to the OnlyFans community. And I'm not shaming the OnlyFans community, but bitch, that is the time after me. Those are pebbles and cobblestones that I put on the ground for the girls to tread after me. And that is no tea and no shade. Those are facts. You can go to Google right now and type in big dick bitch. Those are words that belong to the world. Big dick bitch, and I will pop up. I haven't done adult films, bitch, in over a decade. And I will still pop up off of those 3 words. Not even .com, not .org, not .edu, not .anything. Big dick bitch, and I will pop up. Ma'am, let's hope that the legacy that you're building by getting your dick sucked brings you to that level to speak about scraps. We are not the same. You couldn't shame me by my weight. You couldn't shame me by my height. You couldn't shame me by my beauty. We are not the same. And don't you ever let any trick fool you into thinking that we are. You are a daughter. And I use daughter loosely. Now let us return, Craig. Let's give a I could have went down a dark path terrorizing that girl.
Girl, I don't see no light down that path. I don't see any light down that path. I forgot I was sitting here.
Oh my goodness.
Now, what were we
There's
even
a
talking
difference
about?
between an icon. There's a difference between being an icon in the world, an icon in ballroom, and an icon on a motherfucking screensaver, bitch. Know your levels.
But I love that Monique interview. And see the way that I saw it, and it's all about experience too, right? Like what your life experiences are. I'm not a trans person, so I saw and heard it differently, you know. And like when we talked about this on the phone the other day, I feel like Monique mentioned transgender just to, I think the subtext in that sentence was, and see, it took a trans person, which most of the world usually tries to push to the side. It took a trans person to bring us together, me and Lee Daniels, to bring us together. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the way she was using it.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes we're so politically correct that we just fight and scream about anything. Like in the times that we need to be speaking up and out and raising hell, we're quiet. And then the times that we, you know, need to fucking be quiet, we out here raising hell.
Right.
But I love that interview.
Yeah,
And let me tell you something about Monique. That bitch is from Baltimore.
Come on.
And you know I'm from Baltimore.
Come on, Baltimore.
And we don't know other way, no other way to be other than straight up. And when that lady got over there on that couch and was naming names, first of all, I think what happens is because she's been on this journey for a few years now, there are a lot of people that are numb to it, and a lot of people who are exhausted with hearing about it. But I think when that lady sat down on that couch, she really cleared a lot of things up. And I believe what she said. I do. I think it was fucked up that Kevin Hart never gave that lady a call back. Now, I think it was admirable that he cut her that check.
2 things can be right at the same time.
That's right.
Come on.
Now, when she sent that money back with interest, that was some Baltimore shit. Because what you're not going to do is ever say,
I owe you.
Craig, come on.
uh-huh.
Who else holds those? Who else holds?
Oh,
those?
that's you.
Would you like to speak from experience? Don't roll your eyes, Baltimore bitch. You Baltimore bitch, don't roll your eyes. I'm very much so like this. Even when Gio went on his tangent, I'm calling names today, bitch, because it's a new season.
Yeah.
And I have no ill in my heart towards nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Even when Giovanni went on his tangent, my house was dirty, my this and that, like all the things, right? AIDS pills in the pocketbook and all this type of shit. When he was asked, were you owed anything? Right?
Mm-hmm.
The answer was no. Because one thing about me, bitch, if we have discrepancies with each other, you may not know, but you will receive a check where you're paid in full, and you may not never hear from me again.
Uh-huh.
You'll receive a check, you'll receive a balance clearing, you'll receive a Zelle, and you'll never hear from me again.
Yeah.
Because what you will not say is that I owe you anything. You can attack my character, you can attack my reputation, bitch, but I will never owe you nothing. You'll never be standing on the top of a hill talking about I owe you.
Standing where, girl?
On the top of a motherfucking hill saying that I owe you anything.
Right.
There were more things that you told me about that interview you wanted to talk about. Let's go.
Yeah, so I thought it was really brave of her. You know what I mean? Like when she was talking about the fact that like when you naming names like that, like first of all, you can't be that exact and remember details to the way that she was remembering details and naming names and saying, well, you know, because this person, I reached out to that person. Like, you gotta understand that there's some truth there. And I think, and my point is, I think there are a lot of people who feel like they're frustrated with hearing about it. And they're like, oh, girl, just move on, da 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 da. But also there's that part of Tyler Perry is some people's heroes. Oprah is some people's heroes. And so they don't want to believe that they would have done X, Y, and Z, right? Now, moving on from that with the whole Will Packer thing. When she said that those trailers got blown up.
And she said she was posting it. And I called her that same day and we had a long talk. And she thanked me again and again and again. And I thanked her for being my sister. And I said, bitch, you told them about the motherfucking trailer. She said, bitch, and I'm finna post them. Just give me a second. She said, I'm gonna call you right back.
Okay. And when listen, and my thing is, I'm telling you, and I know that there are a lot of real people in other places of the world, but when that bitch said she was gonna post, I said, that bitch got them receipts. That's a Baltimore bitch. I've been supporting that lady since she had that comedy club in Baltimore. Monique's Comedy Club down on Liberty Street. And when she said she was going out to Hollywood to get a TV show, like she said on that couch, it was like 2 or 3 months later, and she had a TV show. You know, but I just feel like, and I love Oprah. I love my girl Oprah.
Come on, let's go. I want to hear how torn in between these things you are.
No, I ain't torn. That's LaToya Luckett. I'm not torn. I'm not torn at all. I think Oprah fucked up in this instance. You understand what I'm saying? Because people can still be your hero. You can still, I don't give a damn about Tyler, but you can still love people and hold people up and think that they're amazing. And like Oprah has done more good in the world, I believe, than she has done bad. And I know some of y'all are a little conflicted because you think she was friends with Harvey Weinstein and this, that, and third. I don't know about none of that. All I know is that lady has been better to the world than she has been bad to the world, right? But I think that this is an instance where she may be challenged with being honest and facing her ego, because we all got ego.
We do, because I definitely have one.
Oh, yeah, we know.
Be careful, punk.
and sometimes you got to be able to say, look here, bitch.
But you've also seen me in my ego come back and apologize.
Come back. Right.
You've seen me in my ego.
Correct.
Come back and apologize.
People make mistakes. And I think for Oprah to come forward now after all of these years and say, you know what, we could have done things differently. I think it would take a really big person to be able to do that. And as evolved as she is and all of that.
Sit that over there for me, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
as evolved.
Don't let it fall on the floor. Sit it right there.
As evolved as she is.
I'll sit it over here.
As evolved as she is, I believe that it's just too big of a pill for her to just come forward now and just be like, you know what? Yeah, we could have done this differently. But I think that it's.
You really think it's too late?
I'm not saying I think it's too late. I just think we're too far down the road for Oprah to ever apologize. I don't think that's ever going to happen. I think that if Monique is saying she lost about $24 million over the years,
she want that back.
Tyler and Oprah can split that. That's 12 and 12. Where I come from, that's 12 and 12.
Well, we all come from 12 and 12 makes 24.
That's right.
That's like two trades that I like.
Right.
Oh, Lord.
Now. Right, Tasha. Now, I've been warning y'all about that Tyler Perry, but see, y'all didn't want to hear that from me. Y'all thought I was just hating.
Craig, Tyler Perry has done some great things as well. Let's not do that.
Yeah, he has, but I wonder.
Greg bias.
I wonder if some of the great things he's done have been an act of contrition.
Wait a minute. This is a new word. Alexa, what is contrition?
Maybe she doesn't know.
Contrition is a strong feeling of regret, remorse, or compunction for one's actions, often accompanied by a desire to atone and make amends. It is a crucial aspect of various religious and spiritual practices and is connected to expressions of remorse and atonement.
So wait a minute. Before we continue, girl, that HSBCU degree got you together. Girl, you went down there. Girl, that motherfucking debt you in for that student loan.
No, I'm not in any debt. Those people gave me all 43,000 of my dollars.
Wait a minute, and you used that degree to get out of debt too? Look at you. Maybe I should have went to college, but I didn't. But I still own a $1.2 million home and a $650,000 home.
That's right.
And a $200,000 car and a lot of assets.
Right.
I still do. Wow.
But I think sometimes
look at God.
When a person does something that they feel regretful about or remorse, like she just said, then they come back around and they do some good to try to balance it out, to try to atone it. And it's just like, and I think he does great things. Like right now, he's doing some stuff down here in Atlanta where he's paying back taxes for Black seniors. That's great. But if there's any truth to what's happening with him and that Christian Keys, there's that balance. And like Monique said, he gave T.D. Jakes $1 million. Now, I done sat in churches before where he done wrote checks.
What about Creflo Dollar?
He used to give money over there to New Beginning. Rest in peace, James Morton. He used to give money. I used to sit right in that same church.
But Craig, like, going back to what you're saying, like if you
Who
do
the
something
people on
wrong,
Instagram saying it's a tax write-off?
Hello?
Maybe y'all Instagram girls is tearing it up.
I mean, well, for church, it usually is though. For church, those stuff like that usually is.
Y'all like Fag Talk? If you like Fag Talk, put a 2 in the conversation down there. Because we already got 1 from Miss Mary's food truck. If you like Fag Talk, please put a 2 down there. That's Fag with a P, P-H-A-G. Petty, because we got to move from popular. Petty, hot ass gossipers. Petty, hot ass gossipers. And also popular hot ass gossipers. Honey, we're fags.
Right.
Mo, you're an honorary fag because you work out over there.
Association?
Politely. Right. Greg, listen, the people already was in the comments saying that you feel some type of way about Mo.
No, I do not. I don't know why they say that.
Don't come in my establishment treating my heterosexual identified gentleman a certain way. Don't do that.
Listen.
That's the problem with you fags now.
I don't understand.
Y'all always, and I'm talking about P.H.A.G, not P.H.A.G. Listen, I'm talking about some of you F.A.G.
I don't have any issue with Mo, and Mo don't have no issue with me. That's just y'all.
You fruity ass guys. I'm talking about some of you fruity ass guys, the F.A.Gs, okay? Not the popular hot ass gossipers. Right. Not what Mo can be.
You figgies.
Not that type of fag. This type of fag right here.
How you doing?
No, me and Craig are good. Me and Craig good.
Thank you. I don't know why they be trying to read and look for stuff. That's just like they swear we didn't fell out before.
Oh, honey, listen, and guess what? We love to play on y'all intelligence because the messages that you send to him, he shows me. And the messages y'all send me, I show him.
Please believe. Please believe.
That Craig is opportunist. All he do is come over there. And then she always over there throwing jabs at you. She don't really like it. We sit there.
Why
and
she always trying to say she bought your house?
Listen, let me tell I did. But listen, here's the thing.
Well, girl, what am I getting paid for today?
Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I just want you to know that.
But I just thought it was a great interview. I really do. So we're really not going to talk about how Shannon Sharp is now friends with that boy that was running around with Kerry Rhodes?
No. Craig, because I feel a certain type of way about it. And I tell you why I feel a certain type of way about it. I talked about this on Fox Soul when I was there a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I said on the show, now whatever has happened with the other guy, what's the the guy,
The stylist.
the stylist.
I don't remember his name.
Whatever past he has with whoever is
Carrie Rhodes.
Carrie Rhodes. That's there. I want us to normalize heterosexual men, homosexual men, and trans people being friends with each other. I want us to normalize.
I agree.
So, Craig, I'm not going to sit up here and actually dig into sensationalizing that because I want to normalize heterosexual identified men, transgender women, transgender people, and gay men being friends. I want to normalize.
I agree.
Now, all that other rumor type shit is that's the messy part of us that we can't divulge in. But from the top, I want to normalize that because here's the reason why I want to normalize that. Because we get into instances where people really want to be our friends, they really want to be our colleagues, they really want to be these things, but they're stuck in the space of people saying you are around those fags. I can't deal with you. You around those fags. You're gay, and you already have men. Hold on. Hold on. No, because it's right here at the precipice. It is. It's at the precipice. It is. I don't have an HSBC. And it's at the precipice. Okay. But I need to say this. Mm-hmm. But it already puts a bad taste in the mouth, and it already alienates us.
What does it do, girl?
Alienates us. Alienates us from having relationships, from having business relationships, from having even personal relationships, because people there's a stigma attached to us being sexually, inclined with each other. However, there are instances where there is sex that's going on, and there is sexual things that are involved, and you have to guise it under the guise of being a stylist or being other things. You have to guise it under that in order for society to really look at it at that aspect, so that things aren't stripped away from you. Come on, Craig, don't do this.
I'm listening.
Don't do this.
I'm processing what you're saying. How much you want me to sit here?
I want you to sit here and I want you to gather this thing.
I'm listening to what you're saying.
Because you have heterosexual friends.
I do.
And maybe your friend, what if your heterosexual friend was a bit hesitant on what happened to Instagram?
Are they over?
Where did it go?
Oh, no, it's behind there.
Girl, you go touching my computer, girl.
Right there.
So is it still there?
Yeah.
Okay. So what about what about your heterosexual friends and them being hesitant on being your friend or sharing personal spaces or spaces with you in the same instance of Dr. Martin Luther King and Bayard Rustin? In the same instance, now come on, Craig, if you can look at it from that instance, how that was a strain on their relationship, that they were good friends. Okay, he might have sucked the dick. I don't know. He might have, but both of them are dead.
Unless there's proof.
They're both dead. Because Martin Luther King does have many illegitimate children. So they're not above being men. And I always say, if a man did get hard, things could happen. But this is not this case. I'm just making a point. I'm being devil's advocate over here. And in my devil's advocacy, I have lots of straight friends that are men. But I always put a disclaimer out to those men. If the dick fall out, I'm picking it up.
Think that little stylist ain't at them NBA games with Shannon Sharp, hoping his dick will fall out so he can also pick it up.
Oh my God.
Then listen, let me just say this. I don't know what's going on with Shannon Sharp.
I put the disclaimer out.
Oh my
I don't know what's going on with Shannon Sharp and that little lady.
Wait a minute. Instagram dictionary.
Instagram is gone.
What you just said.
Listen, you want me to wait until you reconnect?
Hold on, let me reconnect Instagram.
Hold on, I'm gonna hold my thoughts.
Give us a moment.